She doesn't care about you. She cares about what you can do for her. I've told you guys this a number of times. Women don't actually care about us, okay? They care about what we can do for them, okay? The emotions we can make them feel, the lifestyle that we can show them, the value that we can bring into their lives. Really, at the end of the day, that's what they care about. They don't necessarily care about us as men, as people, right? And many times they don't even see us as people. They see us as objects, right? I hate to say it, but women don't really see us as people. You know, a lot of times they just see us as objects. They see us as vehicles for where we can transcend their lives, where we can transcend their emotional state, you know? And this is, in a way, what's allowed me to become a very, very successful pickup artist. I'm one of the best in the world because I understand this. I've accepted it. I don't hold this against women. I don't hate them for it. I just accept them for their biological nature. That they don't care about me per se. They care about what I can do for them. Okay? And how I can make them feel, what I can show them, the value I can add into their lives. For me, I mean, it's just the way it is, right? I mean, you could bitch and complain and fight against it all you want, right? But that's just the way it is. It's, you know, you're not going to change women, right? And I'm not saying as men that we don't have our own little quirks. I mean, we do too, right? We're not these innocent little creatures either, right? Because when we see women initially, all we see them for is their physical attractiveness, their sexual marketplace value. We don't see them as people either. We just see them as objects. So I'm not dismissing men either. I'm not saying, oh yeah, we're perfect. Look at these bitches. They're so evil. You know, they're so cold and heartless. I'm saying, hey, as men and women, we all have our differences, right? As men, again, we see women for only, initially at least, we only see them for their sexual marketplace value, whereas women, they don't see us as humans. They really don't care about us, okay? They care about what we can do for them, how we can change their lives, right? A lot of guys kind of have issues, you know, they kind of wrestle with this, especially guys who are in relationships, because they really want to believe that their woman, their girlfriend or their wife really loves them for who they are, the esoteric soul that they are, the fact that they could play guitar, the fact that they could rebuild a transmission, the fact that they're good at math, they're good at accounting, or the fact that they graduated from this school and got this degree, or the fact that they drive this kind of car. You know, I mean, I'm sitting here in my Range Rover right now, right? Sitting here in my Range Rover. You know, when this car was new, it's like 80, 90 grand, right? And, you know, I take girls out in this car all the time and they're impressed by it. They're like, wow, this car feels so comfortable, and wow, you have heated seats, and like, oh, look at all these buttons and blah, blah, blah. And it's not like she's appreciating me for that. She's appreciating the feeling that it's giving her instead, right? She's appreciating the fact that she could turn around and brag to her friends like, hey, I dated this guy. He picked me up in a Range Rover. Right? Does she care about all the hard work and the turmoil that I had to go through in order to get this car, in order to get to my business to the point where I could afford such a car? No, she doesn't care about all that. Does she care about the fact that there was a point where I had to sleep in my car in order to build my business so I could get this car? No, she doesn't care about that. All she cares about is what's happening now, what this car is doing for her, right? And I'm just using this as a tiny example. And the fact that she could turn around and tell her family and friends like, yep, that's right, I'm dating a guy, he's got a Range Rover. I mean, but she's not going home going, oh my gosh, all this struggle Matt had to go through, and oh, I can't believe he slept in his car and he had to go through all this nonsense just to get financially secure enough to be able to afford a car. She's not thinking about all that. She's not, because at the end of the day, she doesn't really care about me. You know, women don't care about us guys. I mean, they care about what we can do for them, how it affects them, right? And it's just the way they're wired. It's just the way it is, right? Just like how us as guys, when we see a girl, if she's not attractive, if she's like a 4 or a 5, you know, and she's physically just not attractive, we're not going to pursue her. We're not going to fantasize about having sex with her. We're not going to want to have anything to do with her. Instead, I mean, we're just going to be fixated on the girls that are basically 8s, 9s, and 10s. right? That's all we look at. I'm gonna turn this on, it's getting a little cold out here. So, yeah, this is kind of tough for a lot of guys. Again, just going back to you guys who are in relationships, you know, and I've been there too. It's kind of tough because you think back at like some of the girls that you were with that you really cared about and that you really invested your heart into, and that when you told her you loved her, you meant it. And you thought that when she said that she loves you, that she meant that too. But now, you know, now that you're red pill, you know better. Now that you've gone red pill, you realize like, oh shit, it was kind of bullshit. She didn't actually care about me. She was just attracted to me because of what I was doing for her, just the value that I was able to add to her life. And you'll notice once you're not able to add value to a woman's life, right, that is when she cuts you off. That is when she dumps you. You know, and when I say value, it doesn't mean I'm just, you know, I'm not talking about like money, for example. I mean, I'm not talking about money specifically. I'm talking about emotional value. I'm talking about mental value, right? For women, just as an example, for women, more than financial value, what they value more than money is a guy who they feel they can trust to be a man, to be masculine, to not kowtow to her, to not be this weak little bitch in her life. I mean, women value a guy who is strong internally more than anything else. And when she feels that you no longer have that, or you're no longer displaying that, that's when she loses interest in you, you know? And I've said this before, that I've had guys here in LA, guys who are rich, much more, they have way more money than I ever had, than I'll ever have, right? Guys who are just financially, you know, kicking ass, that have all the money in the world and they can't hang on to their women. You know, they just can't hang on to these girls because the girl doesn't see them as men. She just sees them as like another girlfriend almost, right? Because a lot of these guys, they've spent their entire lives building their business or becoming, you know, whatever they're doing, or, you know, working on their careers to become financially successful, that they really bought into this notion that they could just get rich and the women will just come to them and stay with them. To a certain degree, it's true, where I mean, money does make it easier to get these girls, but it doesn't really make it that much easier to keep them, because you could have money, but if you're acting, you know, weak, supplicative, needy in your relationship with a girl, she's going to lose interest in you, you know, and the reason why is because she's going to have no respect for you, you know. And as I keep telling you guys over and over, if a girl doesn't respect you, she's going to be out the door. You know, she needs to respect you more than she loves you. Okay, period. So just understand that, man. And there's nothing wrong with it. Don't start hating women for this fact that, you know, that they don't care about you and they only care about what you can do for them. It's just the way they're wired, right? It's just the way women are wired. Because if we go back to the caveman days, this is how women evolved. They were not hunters. We were the hunters. Okay, women were the gatherers. They were the nurturers. Okay, and their only way of accumulating resources for themselves was by manipulation, right? And in order to be successful at being manipulative, you can't really care about the subject that you're trying to manipulate. So in order for a woman to successfully manipulate you, it would be a conflict of interest for her to also care about you at the same time. It's hard to care about the subject that you're trying to manipulate, right? So don't hate women for this, guys. It's just the way they're wired. It's just the way they evolved, dating all the way back again from our caveman days. It's just the way it is, right? But make no mistake about it, okay? Just the only reason why I'm telling you guys this, by the way, is because, especially you guys in relationships, I just don't want you walking around blind thinking that your girl actually cares about you, that she's, you know, she actually loves you for, you know, the unique and special soul that you are. You know, she's just not wired to do that. Okay, she just isn't. And with that said, I am going to wrap up here. So until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Do not forget to smash that like button below.